Welcome back, and we are now at part 4 of NEWish comics, bitches, from 2 weeks ago. Okay, so turn off the AC so you don't have to worry about hearing that anymore. Not turned it off, but just turned it, you know. Okay, so Captain America and Bucky, number 621. This was a hair from being comic of the week. Where Brubaker is going right now with Captain America is someplace that I'm a little unsure of and a little scared for. I'll just be honest. I'm a little worried about where this is going. But this Captain America and Bucky, this is right on fucking track. Because this is exactly what Brubaker does the best. Now, of course, he's being helped out by Mark Andreyko, who's doing, great work, co-writing this series. Chris Samney, whose art I've just recently discovered, is awesome. The art in this book is great because it so well fits the era and that they are portraying. This is the 1940s. It's the early 1940s, and the art in it is it's a little cartoony, but it works perfectly. It's it just works great. And this is obviously a lot more the story of Bucky than it is the story of Cap. But it's the story of the two of them and how they come to work together and what they're doing. I mean, basically, we have in our opening scene here, you have Cap and Bucky busting up a stateside spy ring because that's what they're doing right now. But Bucky's really anxious to get in the war. He wants to get over to Europe. He wants to fight. He wants to fight the Nazis. And Cap's kind of warning him about that. It's like you may know how to fight, you may know how to kill, but you haven't seen it really. You haven't done it, and once you do it, it's not something you can ever take back. And Bucky, being kind of the cocky kid that he is, the know-it-all, he's like, well, I've been around a lot of death. His father. Other, people of, other soldiers, his mother. So, I mean, he feels he's been around enough death to know. But, of course, they get involved in another, kind of fifth column, spy ring, saboteurs, people who plan on doing a lot of damage to, U.S. and these are and it's carnival folk this time around, and not just your kind of regular kind of suit and tie thugs, your gangsters that are working with the Nazis or selling whatever, and this comic is paced so well. And, I mean, the colors, when they are used, the color of Bucky's outfit and the color of Cap's outfit is so vibrant, even in the darkest scenes. It's really, really, really well done. And the only thing that I kind of think that kind of kept this from being Book of the Week is that you can kind of see where this issue is headed. It's really brisk storytelling. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And it's really great storytelling. But, like I said, you can kind of see the ending coming almost from the beginning of the book when they start talking about, about taking a life. That, by the end of the book, Bucky's going to have to take a life. And, some time to reflect on that. The reality of killing someone. I mean, whether, it's for the good of everybody that Bucky has to do it. I mean, he saves, dozens, if not hundreds of lives by killing this one person. But he still killed somebody. And again, these are the kind of character moments, and there's stuff that's peppered throughout. There's kind of like this faux double date, and Bucky just being the cocky baby-faced kid, who really wants to be a grown-up. He even hates the fact that he's referred to as a sidekick. But he knows that he is, because he's definitely in the shadow of Cap. But as we find out later in later in Bucky's life, but earlier in Brubaker's run on Captain America, you see where that Bucky's had to do some pretty terrible shit. He's gotten more inured to killing. Definitely, you notice later on. I'm not talking just as the Winter Soldier, but actually in the war itself. But the next issue, I think, if memory serves, the Invaders. That's always good for me. I love the Invaders. One of my favorite super teams ever. Anyway, so again, really, really solid book. And like I said, a pseudo complaint, because that's kind of rote, that particular storyline where, okay, we're talking about this thing, and it's going to happen later on. Just from the way they talk about it. So, book of the week of 2 weeks ago. The Iron Age Omega. So the finale of the Iron Age story. This came literally from nowhere for me. I got, like I said, I read Iron Age #1 on a whim. Somebody recommended it to me. I read it, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And then I went out and I bought the first issue, Iron Man Omega, and then, of course, got issues 2 and 3, and Iron Age Alpha. And this is Iron Age Omega, it's the finale. And basically, everybody that you see on this cover, you've got, Human Torch, Captain Britain, Yellow Jacket, Cyclops, Iron Fist, Power Man, Luke Cage, Dazzler, and of course Iron Man, coming to fight to stop Dark Phoenix from consuming the Earth. What's so strong about this is that you see, so you don't just see Tony's genius, but you also see where he's not so smart. You see the moments where he is a man who has folly. He's definitely far from perfect. And even his smarts aren't always, he's not always the smartest guy in the room. And I mean, it's a lovely book from beginning to end. Rebecca Isaacs, who I just saw do the art for something else that I loved, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what the fuck it was. Oh, it's Cloak and Dagger, Spider Island, I believe. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And it's beautiful. And the art in this is beautiful. And again, this is such good storytelling. I mean, it's incredibly strong. Rob Williams is the writer. Again, a lot of these issues were written by different people. And I don't think that was to get it out fast. I think it was just to keep it, to keep the pace going, because people knew that this was going to be a book that was going to be I think they knew this was going to be a book that was going to be largely overlooked because of, Fear Itself. Fear Itself is the big thing right now. So, when you have, because this is not, this is kind of like a mini event comic. But this, I would say, is much stronger storytelling than what's actually going on in Fear itself, which is, of course, ironic because this is a smaller comic and Fear itself is the big event. So, but I mean, either wait for the trade or run out and get the issues. I'm sure that you'll be able to find them at cover price, if not, much more expensive, because this is, like I said, it's a event, it's a comic that's been very overshadowed by, all the events of Fear itself. And, like things like X-Men Schism and so on and so forth. So that's it for 2 weeks ago. So this is kind of a little time machine video that we're doing here right now. So I have a new local comic book store, Gotham City Comics and Coffee. It hasn't really caught on yet, I don't think. I'm hoping that, I mean, it's sad that the demise of another store like Atomic would bring this about, but it's important to I have my I have a new box pull all set up there, ready to go, and I'm waiting feverishly for this week's comics to come in, because I'll actually be able to pick them fucking up this week as opposed to having to wait for them to come from Tifa, who's I'm in Arizona, okay? Arizona's here. Oregon is up here. It's not that far. If it was New York or something like that, then some of this would make sense, but it's not. And the thing that really pisses me off about this is even though I pre-ordered it, they have the Bionic Man #1 on back order, which was one of the big comics that I really, really wanted to pick up from that week. So the next time that we speak, we might be doing 2 weeks in one, because I know that one of the big comics that I'm looking forward to from last week was Angel and Faith #1, and this week's got pretty good stuff coming out, so looking forward to it. Anyway, so that's it for this edition of the Shadow Gallery. So we'll be back later on this week, I'm sure, with more discussions, more comic book stuff, me. So until then, thanks for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, criticize, complain, kudos, subscribe. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks to everybody out there. Hellas for Blogs, Comic Noob, Edward 2692, whatever your username is. People who come and comment and subscribe, I do appreciate it. Never let it be said that I don't. And the people who come back and comment every week on these videos, and hey, spread the word out there. If you got your own channel, you like my videos, let people know I'm out there. So anyway, if you like me, or if you don't like me, don't let people know that I'm out there. So anyway, actually, even that will be fine too, because if you don't like me, they might. So anyway, okay, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm a memory. I'm Casper. Vanishing now. This has been the Shadow Gallery. I'm James Donnelly. So long, everybody.